Pulls up at the line. Good. He takes it all the way. Oh! How about that from Luka Doncic? And he nails it. What a three. AK-47 blocked it.
I love the fact that he wants to get into this game.
Over to Papaloukas.
Boyan Bogdanovic off to a flyer.
And Sabonis converts on the three-point plate.
And the dance is underway. It is incredible. You would not believe it.
Dear Governing Mayor of Berlin, Mr. Michael Müller. Dear Parliamentary State Secretary, Mr. Stefan Mayer. Dear FIBA Euro President, Mr. Turgay Demirel. Dear FIBA Executive Director Europe, Mr. Kamil Novak. Dear Presidents and representatives of the host countries and cities, distinguished guests, and of course, dear viewers. Welcome to Verdi Music Hall in Berlin, Germany for the official draw ceremony of FIBA EuroBasket 2022. I'm your host, Dora Pantelli. Here in this vibrant metropolis in Germany's capital, at the heart of Europe, the FIBA EuroBasket 2022 champion will be crowned. We're honored to have with us the man responsible for running this great city. Please welcome the governing mayor of Berlin, Mr. Michael Müller.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear basketball fans, I'm so happy to be able to welcome you here today, here in the hall, but you also, ladies and gentlemen, in front of the screens. It's a great event that will take place next year, and we feel that there is something going on. So we meet here today, of course, under specific conditions. We have to keep distance, etc. So we aren't many people here today, but nevertheless, we are so positive and enthusiastic, and we are looking forward into the future. So the fight against Corona, COVID-19, is about to be successful. So we are looking forward to sports events full of emotions, with viewers, with spectators. And I think there is a silver lining, and we do share this hope here in Berlin, but everywhere, in the Czech Republic, in Italy, Georgia, everywhere. And we are very much looking forward to this great EuroBasket taking place in 2022. This is what we want, ladies and gentlemen. We want to root for the teams. We want to feel emotions. We want to see the fast games. We want to see the fans, and we would like to be together. We would like to join the games, the matches, and we would like to really root for the teams and to be thrilled, to feel this thrill, to feel the sports event. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is great that here in Berlin we are also a sports location and a sports side, and that we will be a co-host of the EuroBasket 2022. And thank you very much for trusting us. Thank you very much that Berlin is able to host the finals. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, from FIBA. Thank you very much, you, ladies and gentlemen, being voluntaries and working with us. Thank you very much. So Berlin is a basketball metropolis. We want to be good hosts, co-hosts, and Berlin is international and open-minded, and this is what we are, and this is what we will give you next year when we will be together here today. So together, we would like to bring together all the sportsmen and women, and we would like to create a great event, ladies and gentlemen. And I wish you, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say I am hoping for all of us a great time next year, and I hope and I am deeply convinced that we will be together, that everybody will be able to join us, that we will fill the arenas, and that all the people who would like to see the games, to watch the games, will be able to come. And I would like you to stay healthy, and I'm looking forward to healthy and safe and perfect and nice EuroBasket 2022. And I'm very much looking forward to see you soon. Stay healthy, all the best, and good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Müller. And I'm sure it's one of the 24 teams that will take part in FIBA EuroBasket 2022 will do everything to reach the final phase in your great city. First of all, of course, we have the 4 co-host cities. Don't forget, Czech Republic, Georgia, Germany, and Italy. The reigning champions, Slovenia, secured qualification during November window 2020, alongside Bosnia-Herzegovina, Croatia, Greece, Israel, Spain, and Ukraine. And in February, the 2017 silver medalist Serbia, as well as Belgium, Bulgaria, Estonia, Finland, France, Great Britain, Hungary, Lithuania, Poland, Netherlands, Russia, and Turkey earned a place at the FIBA EuroBasket 2022. The draw for the group phase of the 31st edition of Europe Showcase basketball event will be taking place in a short while. But I have to say, and you will agree with me, it's rather strange to be on a stage of a music venue like this, especially one exiguous as the Verdi Music Hall, and for it to be so silent, right? So before we go on with the day's proceedings, let's remind ourselves of what basketball is for the fans and what fans bring to our great sport. I will say, let them bring the noise. That was a taste of the FIBA EuroBasket 2022 promotional campaign, accurately, I think, named Bring the Noise. Next year's EuroBasket marks the 3rd time that Europe's biggest basketball tournament is organized in 4 different countries. This hosting structure was an innovative concept back in 2015, but now, after a phenomenal success both in 2015 and in 2017, it has almost become a staple of the event. Czech Republic, Georgia, Germany, and Italy will be the 4 host countries for the FIBA EuroBasket 2022. The event was originally organized to be scheduled 2021, but in the wake of health situation around continent and the world, FIBA Europe and the host federation agreed and decided to hold it from September 1st through September the 18th, 2022. It will be 5 years after the enormously successful 2017 tournament, playing in Finland, Romania, Israel, and Turkey. And I cannot think of only one person who can be perfectly explain how we got here and what FIBA EuroBasket 2022 represents. Dear guests, please welcome FIBA Euro President and FIBA Central Board and Executive Committee member, Mr. Turgay Demirel.
Dear Governing Mayor of Berlin, dear Parliamentary State Secretary, esteemed guests, and dear friends, it gives me great pleasure to be able to welcome in person our selected guests who are in attendance, and also be able to address all those of you who could not be physically present here due to the circumstances, but are following the ceremony through our digital channels. I'm standing on the stage of the Verdi Music Hall in Berlin, just a few meters away from where the final phase of the 41st edition of FIBA EuroBasket will be played in September 2022. Each one of the 40 editions of FIBA EuroBasket was a combination of exemplary hard work and excellent planning from the respective host federations, so that Europe and the entire world could each time enjoy a celebration of basketball. But EuroBasket 2022 will be much more than that. It will be a great testament to the resilience of our players, coaches, and federations, and the biggest proof that European basketball was able to overcome even the most challenging conditions the world faced in the last 8 decades. The road here was longer than we expected back in 2017, when we crowned Slovenia as the FIBA EuroBasket champion in Istanbul. The road was more tough and twisted than anybody could have anticipated. But we didn't turn back, we didn't give up. We adapted, we innovated, we came up with solutions, and above all, we collaborated, and we made it here. The qualifiers and every step we took since the COVID-19 pandemic interrupted sport and all other social activities was an extraordinary show of the unity and enormous strength of European basketball. All this makes me more confident that despite the challenges, FIBA EuroBasket 2022 will exceed the enormous success of EuroBasket 2017. And I'm certain that our great stars of today, the stars of the next generation, will inspire once again basketball fans all over the world. Czech Republic, Georgia, Germany, and Italy are 4 amazingly capable hosts that are bound to deliver an amazing experience at FIBA EuroBasket 2022. I would like to thank all 4 organizing federations and their local organizing committees and wish them, as well as all 24 participating national teams, a lot of success. On behalf of FIBA Europe, I wish all the competing nations the best of luck in today's draw and next year at EuroBasket. And I'm eagerly, like every fan around Europe, waiting to look forward on the action on the court. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Demirel. Dear guests, basketball fans from all around the globe are eagerly waiting for FIBA EuroBasket 2022. And let's be honest, a prestigious event such as this, worthy of the most stunning backdrop, right? We have 5 world-famous European cities that play that role. Prague, Czech Republic's fairy tale capital; Tbilisi, Georgia's capital and cultural hub; Milano, Italy's northern art, fashion and commerce center; Cologne, Germany's historical treasure; and of course, Berlin, Germany's cosmopolitan capital. These 5 cities will provide the glamorous stage to match the sign of a huge competition like this. Prague, Tbilisi, Cologne, and Milano will host 1 group each, while Berlin will welcome the nations that make it to the last phase. Let's have a closer look at our 5 host beautiful cities. Beautiful images. All these cities are exceptional places indeed. But in the mind of the 24 competing nations, there will be only 1 final destination. You guessed right. Every team aims to reach Berlin and compete for the medals. Apart from the final phase, though, Germany is also hosting a group in Cologne. So this country will be even more immersed with the atmosphere of FIBA EuroBasket 2022 than it was back in the 2015. As some of you remember, Germany also played to host EuroBasket games back in 1993 when they ended up winning the gold medal. It is interesting to hear what German fans, as well as fans that will visit Germany in 2022, can expect to experience here. Please welcome the Parliamentary State Secretary, Federal Ministry of the Interior, Building and Community, Mr. Stefan Mayer.
Excellencies, dear Mr. President, dear Mr. Demirel, dear Mayor, dear Mr. Müller, dear Mr. Executive Director, Mr. Novak, dear FIBA board members, dear representatives from the different host countries, dear ladies and gentlemen. I want to extend a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the Federal Government of Germany and especially on behalf of the Federal Ministry for the Interior, Building and Community. And especially my minister, Mr. Horst Seehofer, asked me very much to convey his personal greetings to all of you. Mr. Seehofer, in his former times, was an active handball player, and I played basketball when I was younger, so we always cheat a little bit on each other. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I have the opportunity again to be with you. The last time was in July 2019, when the different hosts for the FIBA EuroBasket were selected in Munich in July 2019. Originally, it was planned that the tournament should take place in 2021. But now, due to the corona pandemic, it was necessary to suspend the tournament for 1 year. But in the next year, on the 18th of September, the final will take place only a few meters from here in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. And who will win this final, to a certain extent, will depend on the upcoming draw. So the importance of Lady Luck shouldn't be underestimated. As I said, originally it was planned that the tournament should take part this year, but certainly it was necessary to suspend the games. And I'm deeply convinced that due to the current progress in Europe with regard to the vaccination program, and due to the excellent health and safety protocols and the testing procedures of the international association and of the national associations, I'm quite sure that it will be possible that the EuroBasket 2021 will take place under normal circumstances, with spectators in the different arenas, with the chanting, the cheering, and the live commentary in the arenas. Because that's the important source for the game, for basketball, that we love so much. These are the fantastic ingredients, and we are very thankful as Germany that we are one of the host countries of the EuroBasket 21. Certainly, I wish all the best to the 24 national teams which will be drawn now in the upcoming draw. But it's no secret that I cross my fingers, especially for the German national team. I want to thank very much all the organizers and especially the volunteers who will create a marvelous atmosphere next year in Berlin, in Cologne, and in all the other host countries. So thank you very much again for the opportunity for Germany to be one of the host countries of the EuroBasket 21. We are very much delighted, and you can be sure that we, the federal government of Germany, the city of Berlin, and the Deutsche Basketballbund will do our best to be good hosts for all the guests, all the players, and all the delegates from the different countries. Thank you very much for your attendance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I know that watching the videos and listening to the speeches further whets your appetite for EuroBasket 2022. As a fan myself, I understand that fans around Europe want to know more what their national team should expect from the host of the group they will be drawn into. Well, we have at our disposal the most appropriate people to answer that very question. Please welcome back on stage FIBA Euro President Mr. Turgay Demirel, and let me introduce again FIBA Executive Director Europe, Mr. Kamil Novak. Mr. Demirel, from your own experience, can you tell us what, in your opinion, is the most challenging, but especially the most rewarding aspect of hosting an event as important as EuroBasket 2022?
Thank you, Dora. During my tenure as the president of Basketball Federation, I had the privilege and opportunity to host the head of the organization of EuroBasket 2001 and then also the World Championship 2010 in Istanbul. There are lots of challenges and lots of rewards on hosting such events. I think the most big challenge is to make all the attendees, to please all the attendees participating into such an event, media, fans, teams, federations, and of course the head organization. And the most reward, the best reward maybe, for me that time it was that our national team shows a performance to stay until the last day, even to the last game, and to have a winning performance and a medal-winning performance on the court.
Thank you, Mr. Demirel. Mr. Novak, we all know you work hand in hand with the 4 host cities and countries, and you also know fans can't wait to get back to the arenas and support the national teams, of course. Can you tell us what kind of experience should fans be expecting in EuroBasket 2022?
Well, I think it will be 2 main aspects. First of all, a top-level organization in top facilities. I think everybody knows the arena in Cologne, in Milano, and in Prague. There is a new brand arena, will be finalized in Tbilisi. And of course, no need to speak about the Mercedes-Benz Arena here in Berlin. The second aspect, on the court, I'm sure the fans did follow the qualifiers. They just concluded in February. Some surprises, some teams who didn't play at EuroBasket for many years. And I think the fans will see a huge competition on the court with totally unknown and unpredictable winner. And I think this is what makes basketball so interesting, that we have in Europe, fortunately, so many teams who have the ambition to win the EuroBasket. So it will be great competition on the court.
I agree. Thank you, Mr. Novak. Now I think it's time to hear from our wonderful hosts themselves. Please welcome Czech Basketball Federation Secretary General, Mr. Michael Konensky, Georgian Basketball Federation Vice President, Mr. Vladimir Boisa, Italian Basketball Federation Secretary General, Mr. Mauricio Bertea, and German Basketball Federation President, Mr. Ingo Weiss. Welcome, gentlemen. Mr. Konensky, let me start with you. Could you please tell us why you decided to host EuroBasket 2022, a group that will take place in Prague, and what are your expectations from your own national teams after the huge successes that they had back in 2019 at the World Cup?
You know, we organized many events with FIBA last 10 years. We started 2010 with the World Cup of Women. After this, we organized many youth events. In 2017, we organized EuroBasket for Women, but we never organized the best event in the Europe. So this is the first reason. And the second reason, the Czech basketball celebrated 100 year next year. So we wanted to bring some nice present of our fans. So this is the reason why we wanted to do it.
Thank you very much. Let me turn to you, Mr. Boisa. Georgia earned its first participation to FIBA EuroBasket, correct me if I'm wrong, back in 2011. Your team showed us some great basketball in the subsequent editions. And only 10 years after that, Tbilisi is now preparing to host a group. Could you tell us what should the teams and fans that will visit Tbilisi next year should expect?
It should, you know, that such high-ranking sport event never been had in Georgia before. Not because it's my homeland. Georgia is truly one of the most beautiful and, nice country in Europe, you know. And all teams and all fans who arrive in Georgia, they will see new arena who built exactly for EuroBasket. And I believe that all games, not just Georgia national team what will play, but all games will completely full. And they make the fans who spend days in our capital city more beautiful. And what about our team, our fans always support us, but it's first time we have EuroBasket, and I believe that will help us to achieve the biggest result in history of basketball.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bertea, allow me to ask you a different question. Italy has, of course, played host to FIBA EuroBasket on 3 occasions in the past and in multiple cities. But many people might not know that this will be Milan's first time. Please tell us, what are Italy's aspirations and your personal hope for this upcoming EuroBasket?
Thank you. Well,
after 31 years. I have to add, this is important.
Yes, thank you. I started working in Italian Basket Federation in 1991, and the same year that we organized the last European basketball. And it was my very first important appointment in federation as a young employee a long time ago for me. And so I hope that I would like to feel the same emotion as then, but obviously without the drama of those days when a war on horizon was happening in the Balkans region. Sports organization, basketball organization is my job, but I am a sports fan and a fan of my national team, obviously. And I hope there will be passion, respect, fair play, a great meeting between different peoples and a successful event in Milano. As well as I hope my federation can also get a sporting good result in hopefully in a world finally free from COVID.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Last but not least, let me turn to the Federation, whose organizing committee has double challenge in front of them. Mr. Weiss, at FIBA EuroBasket 2015, fans experienced a farewell of legendary Dirk Nowitzki here in Berlin, in one of the most emotional moments in European basketball history. Only a few years later, Germany is not only hosting a group in Cologne, but goes one step further to also host the final phase in the capital. Could you maybe describe the basketball legacy you hope to create and what it'd like to be both local and visiting fans will get from this experience?
Yes, at first, thank you very much. We are very proud to do this really great and big event, the EuroBasket 2022, in this moment now. We are trying to, and we would like to organize a very big and peaceful and colorful event, to have all the participants here, to have all the fans in Cologne and Berlin. Okay, at the end of the day, I want to say also a little bit like my Secretary of State, I hope that we get today in the draw a good group to coming from Cologne to Berlin, and then we will see together with our friends what we can do in the final stage here. Very welcome to every fans, very welcome to the athletes, and we hope to have a very good tournament in Germany in 2022 in September. And my friends, all the fans, all the athletes, you are very welcome in Cologne and in Berlin and of course in Germany.
Thank you very much, Mr. Weiss. Thank you, gentlemen. It's become clear that our four hosts are preparing at full speed and they will deliver an outstanding experience. But just like basketball is a team sport, organizing a huge event such as FIBA EuroBasket 2022 is a corporate effort. The organizers and volunteers will need all the help they can get, especially if it comes from someone as devoted as they are. Ideally, someone who will also help make sweet music when the fans bring the noise. I'm told that we have found someone who fits this unique profile I just described. And we have the evidence and video. Shall we watch? I have to say, this has been so exciting. I almost forgot that we have to actually perform the draw so that we get to find out which exact games we should get excited about. Luckily, we have someone with us who can lead through the crunch time. Please welcome FIBA Head of Competitions Europe, Mr. Mandic, who will take us through the process after we watch a small explanation of the draw.
24 teams will participate in the FIBA EuroBasket 2022 and have been seeded according to the FIBA World Ranking Men, presented by Nike. For the purposes of the draw, the 24 teams are divided into 8 pots. Pot 1 contains the 4 host countries: Czech Republic, Georgia, Germany, and Italy. Pot 2 contains their respective partners: Poland, Turkey, Lithuania, and Estonia. Pot 3 contains the first seeds: Pot 4 contains the remaining second seed. Pot 5, the 2 remaining third seeds. Pot 6, the 2 remaining fourth seeds. Pot 7, the fifth seeds, and Pot 8, the remaining sixth seeds. All 24 teams will be drawn and placed into 4 groups: A, B, C, and D. There are also 4 additional pots with numbers 1 to 6 for each group. After each team is drawn into a group, a number will be drawn for that team to determine the order of games in the group. Pot 1 containing the 4 host countries will be drawn first. A restriction for Pot 1 is that Germany, as hosts of the final phase, must be drawn and placed in one of the groups that will finish the group phase first, so groups A or B. For example, Georgia is drawn first from the host country's pot, and it goes to Group A. It is drawn with number 2. Czech Republic is drawn next, and as Germany, must now go to Group B. The Czechs are placed in the next available group, which is Group C, with number 1. Germany is drawn next and must go into Group B. Germany is drawn number 3. Finally, Italy is drawn last and will be placed into the last available group, which is Group D, while it is drawn number 3. As part of the FIBA EuroBasket 2022, each of the 4 hosts have selected partner countries which will be drawn but then automatically be placed into their partners group. Czech Republic has Poland as their partner, Georgia has Turkey, Germany has Lithuania, and Italy has Estonia. These 4 partners are in Pot 2. They are drawn and placed in the respective groups of their partner, and each of them is drawn a number. Pot 3 contains the top seeds Spain, Serbia, Greece and France, which are drawn without any restrictions and placed in the group's alphabetical order. For example, Greece is drawn first and is placed in Group A with number 4. France is drawn next and placed in Group B with number 1. Spain is drawn into Group C with number 4. And finally, Serbia is going into Group D with number 5. For pots 4, 5 and 6, each country drawn goes into the next available group, as some of the groups already contain teams from their seeded line. The draw software will always highlight which group is available. For example, the only country in Pot 4 is Russia, who can only go to Group A, as Groups B, C and D contain countries from their seed. Russia is drawn number 5. For Pot 5 teams Croatia and Slovenia, the only available groups are Groups B and D, as the other third seeds are already drawn in Groups A and C. Croatia is drawn first and goes into Group B with number 4. Slovenia is drawn into Group B and is given number 1. Pot 6 contains Ukraine and Finland, who can only be placed into Groups C and D. Finland is drawn into Group C and Ukraine in Group D, with numbers 5 and 6 respectively. For Pot 7, which contains all the fifth seeds, this is a straight draw. The teams are drawn and placed into the group's alphabetical order. Israel are drawn first and go to Group A with number 3. Belgium are drawn next. They go to Group B with number 5. Hungary are drawn next and go to Group C with number 3. Finally, Great Britain are drawn last and are placed in Group D, and number 4 is drawn for them. Pot 8 contains the 3 remaining sixth seeds. With Estonia already in Group D, the only available groups are A, B and C. Bosnia and Herzegovina are drawn first and will go to Group A. They are drawn number 1. Netherlands are drawn next and are placed in Group B with number 2. Bulgaria are selected last and are placed in Group C with number 6. This then completes the draw for the FIBA EuroBasket 2022.
Welcome, Mr. Mandic. I heard this was very complicated, so I brought you some help. Mr. Mandic will have help from a representative of Europe's next basketball generation, the 70-year-old Lena Sonntag, who played for this year's senior German national team. But as you all know, future is built on the shoulders of giants. And we are honored to have with us 3 European legends assisting us with the draw. Dear guests, we are honored to have with us Italy legend Roberto Brunamonti, Georgia legend Victor Sanikidze, Germany legend and FIBA EuroBasket 2022 ambassador Mr. Dick Nowinski.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. I will start with you, Mr. Brunamonti. You won a FIBA EuroBasket gold medal back in 1983, and you played the last EuroBasket of your career in Italy back in 1991, winning silver. Can you tell us, please, how important were these moments in your career, and what would be the advice that you will give to the players who will play at this upcoming event?
First of all, thank you, FIBA. Thank you, my federation, for inviting me here. And for me, it's an honor to stay close to Dirk and Victor, because they are great legends for basketball, not just for Europe, but in the world. I played for 14 years in national team, and every time I felt the same emotion. Of course, 83, 91 are truly unforgettable for me. 83, why? When we win the gold medal, the very first time for my country. And 91, when we played in Italy, and we play in front of our fans, 50,000 people every game. Unfortunately, we lost the final, but we play against the extraordinary Yugoslavian team. It obviously advanced for the player. For me, it's simple but fundamental. Be proud and honored to represent your country. And last but not least, enjoy it.
Big words. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Sanikidze, you were part of the generation that brought Georgia the biggest stage of European basketball back in 2011. A decade later, Georgian basketball has made so many giant steps, allow me to say, that the country is now preparing to host FIBA EuroBasket group in Tbilisi. Can you tell us a little bit about the journey, the milestones of that wonderful trip, and tell us, where do you expect it to lead?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say that it's also for me a big honor to be here, and I'm thrilled to be here. I believe the Georgian basketball has a solid progress in the last decade, which is a result of the joint work. And we've had, and we still have, the great players that have done a tremendous job to bring the Georgian basketball at its highest level. And this would not have been possible without the great cooperation and support of Georgian Basketball Federation, the government of Georgia, and FIBA, of course. And now we are preparing to host the EuroBasket 2022 in Georgia. This is a significant event for our country, and I strongly believe that hospitality of the Georgian people will make this event most remarkable of the history of EuroBasket. And I would like to say that we all can't wait to end this difficult moment, the pandemic, and to have the spectators back in the arenas. And I would like to wish the good luck for all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sanikidze. Now, Mr. Nowitzki, of course, you played, as I said before, your last game for Germany, a few meters away from where we are now, back in 2015. And I wanted to ask you, as somebody who has had more successes in your storied career than an athlete can ever hope for, what did the bond with the national team give you, and what did you agree to be the FIBA EuroBasket 2022 ambassador?
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's wonderful. Thank you, all you legends, for coming. And I was honored. I'm excited to be the ambassador of hopefully an unbelievable and unforgettable tournament with some great host countries and cities. So I'm looking forward to hopefully next year a great event. And I was super thrilled and honored to be asked. And like you mentioned, EuroBaskets have been some of my greatest memories in the national team over my career. I'll always remember, of course, 2005 in Serbia and so many others. So I hope everybody will next year have a great and emotional event, and good luck to everybody, all the countries involved. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here with us. Thank you all, gentlemen. Now, Mr. Mandit, the floor is yours to begin with the draw.
Thank you, Dora. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Also from my side, welcome. We have seen the draw procedure video. We have been introduced the legends and the future legend, hopefully the talent that will help us with this draw in the afternoon. We will start now with the draw for the FIBA EuroBasket 2022. We will start with pot 1, which contains the 4 host countries, which are Czech Republic, Georgia, Germany, and Italy. Shortly about the procedure for this pot. Germany, as also the host of the final phase, can only be drawn in Group A and B, A or B. This is the restriction for this pot, which means that if any other countries are drawn before, they will be moved to the next available country. After each country drawn, we will draw a number for the respective country to determine the competition number. So let's start with the first host country.
Oh, stuck.
Georgia will go into Group A.
2022 marks a historic moment for Georgia, which competed as an independent nation at FIBA EuroBasket for the first time in 2011, and 10 years later are hosting a group in Tbilisi.
Georgia into Group A with number 2. We will move on to the next host country.
I'm clearly doing something wrong. Oh.
Italy, and because of the restriction mentioned before, Germany has to go into Group B. Italy will be moved to the next available group, which is Group C.
Italy reached the final the last time they played to host FIBA EuroBasket, so they hope to rekindle next year the magic of summer of 1991.
Italy into Group C with number 5. Move on to the next host country.
I gotta do some push-ups.
Oh, you have to turn it.
Should I help?
Oh.
You just have to turn it.
It's the Czech Republic, and because of the same restriction mentioned before, Germany has to go into Group B. The Czech Republic will be placed in Group D.
Czech basketball is on the rise and hosting one of the groups in Prague. Will be crowning moment for a fabulous generation led by Tomas Satoransky.
Czech Republic into Group D with number 4. And now finally,
Okay, I got it now. I got it.
This is Germany into Group B.
When Germany hosted the Final Four back in 1993, they conquered their first FIBA EuroBasket title, so they sure won't mind history repeating in 2022.
Germany into Group B with number 1. Very good. We will now move to the next pot, which contains the 4 partner countries, Poland, Turkey, Lithuania, and Estonia. They will be drawn in the respective group of their partner hosts. And the first partner country drawn is Estonia, which is the partner country of Italy, and will therefore go into Group C.
As we said, Estonia is Italy's partner federation and will be joining the Milan group, where they will start their 3rd FIBA EuroBasket campaign of the modern era.
Estonia into Group C with number 2. Moving on to the next partner country. This is Lithuania. Lithuania is the partner country of Germany and will therefore go into Group B.
Lithuania went through some dramatic moments in the qualifiers, but now they can chase their 5th FIBA EuroBasket medal since 2003 when they went for gold in Sweden.
Lithuania into Group B with number 4. The next partner country to be drawn. This is Turkey. Turkey is the partner country of Georgia and will therefore go into Group A.
Turkey was a brilliant host in 2017, and now they hope to replicate away from home the success of 2001 when they won their silver medal.
Turkey into Group A with number 6. And And finally, Poland, as the partner country of the Czech Republic, will go into Group D.
Poland will make in 2022 a 7th consecutive FIBA EuroBasket final round appearance, which is their longest successful run since the 80s.
Poland into Group D with number 3. Okay, this was the part of the draw that was more or less known already with the host countries and the partner countries. We will now move to draw the teams from Seed 1, which are the 4 top seeded teams in Europe. But before we do that, let's have a look at the 4 national teams in Seed 1.
Rubio is too good for them.
How about that from the big man?
Father, nice bench pass into Willy Hernan Gomez. Oh my words!
Such a smart player. That is such a tough shot.
Nice pass there from Visic inside the ski match. Going all the way through, up and in, and throws it down. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis beats it away.
Rudy Gobert almost brought the rim down with that one.
Not only does he make the shot, he gets the and 1. So smooth.
Impressive highlights from the teams in Seed 1. We are now ready to draw the 4 teams from Seed 1 across the 4 groups. There are no restrictions for this seed, so let's get it going. This is Spain will go into Group A.
Champions have won a medal in 9 out of the last 10 FIBA EuroBasket tournaments, including gold in 2009, 2011, and 2015.
Spain into Group A with number 3. The next team. France into Group B.
France have made it to the FIBA EuroBasket final round an astonishing 39 times. France won gold in 2013, took silver in 2011, and bronze in 2015.
France into Group B with number 6. This is Greece into Group C.
Greece have finished in the top 8 in 13 of the last 16 FIBA EuroBasket tournaments and won gold in 1987 and 2005.
Greece into Group C with number 1. And finally, Serbia into Group D.
FIBA EuroBasket 2017 finalist Serbia will aim to climb to the very top in 2022 after concluding the qualifiers as the highest scoring team.
Serbia into Group D with number 6. So let's have a look at how the groups are after half of the field has been drawn. In Group A, we have Spain, Turkey, and Georgia playing in Tbilisi. In Group B, France, Lithuania, and Germany to be played in Cologne. In Group C, Greece, Italy, and Estonia in Milano. And Group D, Serbia, Czech Republic, and Poland in Prague. We will now move on to draw seed number 2, where we already have 3 teams drawn as host or partner countries. Nevertheless, let's have a look at the highlights from all 4 teams in seed 2.
What a special player Sabonis is.
Brilliant defensive work from Kalnietis.
Jonas Valanciunas for Lithuania.
Savage, such quality from him. Followed by a big time move.
Crossover, step back 3.
Oh, it's good. Gallinari just went baseline and he gives it up once the dunk.
Bellinelli. Oh, how did he get that one to go?
Spacing for three. Got it!
Tough finish to go.
Impressive highlights. I want to thank Mr. Nowitzki for the help with the draw so far, and would like to ask now Mr. Bruno Monti to continue with the draw for the remaining team in Seed 2. So the only team remaining in Seed 2 is Russia, and as there are already teams from Seed 2 in all the other groups, Russia will go into Group A.
Russia, who reached the semifinals back in 2017 with coach Sergei Bazarovich at the helm, are aiming for their first FIBA EuroBasket medal since 2011.
Russia into Group A with number 1. Now we will move to the teams from Seed 3, but before we do, let's have a look at the highlights of all 4 teams in Seed 3.
Nice. Some serious high flying. Vitrinsky nailed it. AJ saw it as he was putting on a show. Wonderful move by Bogdanovic.
Zaric goes and knocks down the big slam. Steps through and hammers it home.
Perfect timing. Smacks it off the backboard. Forehand corners with a big dunk. Someone on the shot clock here is Larkin. Puts one up.
Now, Doncic puts up a long one.
Slovenia again. The foul's been called. In now. Gets it out wide.
Okay, we're ready to continue. We already have teams from Seed 3 in Groups A or D, and we'll draw now the 2 remaining teams into Groups B and C. And this is Slovenia that will join Group B.
The defending champions dream of Luka Doncic leading them to back-to-back titles after celebrating the nation's first ever FIBA EuroBasket gold medal back in 2017.
Slovenia into Group B with number 3. And finally Croatia into Group C.
Croatia, the first team to make it through the qualifiers, hope to win a FIBA EuroBasket 2022, their first medal since claiming bronze back in 1995.
With number 6. Very good. Now we're moving over to Seed 4, and as always, before we continue with the draw, let's have a look at some highlights from all 4 teams in Seed 4.
That man right there, dazzling the crowd. Now up ahead, Tice goes in for the dunk.
Kleber with a huge three-pointer. And Mikhailov with the rebound, and he picks out Kravtsov. Rendell, good Lord, what a shot.
As Bobroff throws it down. Now look at this. Opponent 3 rattles in. Salim catches, fires, makes it.
Sengalia, inside, outside, left-hand finish. Beautiful footwork. And Georgi Shomadini powers it down.
McFadden for 3, got it.
Okay, we are ready to continue with the 2 remaining teams in Seed 4, which will go into the open spots in Group C or D. This is Ukraine, will go into Group C.
Ukraine will be making their 9th overall FIBA EuroBasket appearance and their 5th in a row since 2011, which makes it their longest strike in the modern era.
with number 3. Ukraine into Group C with number 3. And Finland into Group D.
Finland, one of the most fun teams to watch over the last 4 FIBA EuroBasket tournaments, is aiming to make the quarterfinals as their first time after the renaissance.
Finland into Group D with number 2. Thank you, Mr. Brunamonti. Before we continue with Mr. Sanikidze drawing seeds 5 and 6, let's have a look at the highlights of the 4 teams in seed 5.
Where's the defense? Sebastian takes off.
Keeps up and runs them open. And he hits the jump shot. Back-to-back buckets.
Up against Hanger, turns, great block, Hanger!
Dakota, he go over the backboard. Get it! Sold Paul. Didn't have Deer doing the damage.
Oh, the alley-oop! It was Tamir Black with the assist.
And how about that? Scoring goes McCall. Oh, Shady with a steal it now. Oh, goes all the way and gets it. Psycho for the dog. What a play! What a way to win it for Great Britain!
Okay, we are ready to continue with the draw for seed 5. There are no restrictions for this seed, so the teams will be drawn into the groups in alphabetical order. Let's start with the first team. This is Belgium into Group A.
Belgium has played in every FIBA EuroBasket final round since 2011, and they just won their qualifiers group ahead of Lithuania, Czech Republic, and Denmark.
Belgium into Group A with number 5. Now the next team to be drawn. This is Hungary into Group B.
FIBA EuroBasket 2017 saw Hungary back at the main event for the first time in 18 years. The nation celebrated a FIBA EuroBasket gold medal way back in 1955.
Hungary into Group B with number 2. The next team to be drawn. This is Great Britain into Group C.
Team Great Britain made their maiden appearance in the final round in 2009, and now they are gearing up for the 5th FIBA EuroBasket campaign.
And Great Britain into Group C with number 4. And finally, from seed 5, this is Israel into Group D.
Israel was one of the sensations of the qualifiers and have every reason to feel inspired by FIBA EuroBasket 1979 when they won the silver medal in Italy.
Israel into Group D with number 5. We're almost there. We only have seed 6 left to go, but before we do that, let's have a look at the highlights of the 4 teams in seed 6.
Tries a Euro step, picks it up, tops it away. Nurkic looking for time, space, he's got a back down spin, unstoppable.
And Kamenyas just dunks all over him.
Kloof this way, you can do, watch out! Take off, Charlotte Kloof! And off the glass, that's beautiful by Yannick Franke. Field wide open, he'll knock down the triple. Basket might need repairs after that. Great block by Henry Brown. Penetration in the dog.
Okay, the remaining 3 teams are waiting to find out their opponents. So let's get it going. We already have a 6-seeded team in Group C. All the other teams will be placed in the empty spots accordingly. Let's start with the first team. This is Bulgaria. We'll go into Group A.
Bulgaria is back to the FIBA EuroBasket final round for the first time since 2011. The Balkan nation won their silver medal back in 1957 and bronze in 1961.
Bulgaria into Group A with number 4. The next team to be drawn. Bosnia and Herzegovina into Group B.
Bosnia and Herzegovina are back to FIBA EuroBasket after missing out in 2017, and the final round in Germany looks like a good omen since in 1993 they reached the quarterfinals right here.
Bosnia and Herzegovina into Group B with number 5. And last but not least, the Netherlands into Group D.
The Netherlands will make their second FIBA EuroBasket appearance of the past 30 years following an impressive qualifiers campaign which saw them finish ahead of Turkey and Sweden.
The Netherlands into Group D with number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the draw for the FIBA EuroBasket 2022. I would like to thank Mr. Nowitzki, Mr. Brunamonti, Mr. Sanikidze, and also Ms. Nina Zontag for their help today. Let's have a quick look at the groups. In Group A, in Tbilisi, Georgia, we will have Spain, Russia, Turkey, Georgia, Belgium, and Bulgaria. In Cologne, Germany, the following teams will face off: France, Lithuania, Slovenia, Germany, Hungary, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. In Group C, in Milano, Italy, we will have Greece, Italy, Croatia, Ukraine, Great Britain, and Estonia. And finally, in Prague, in Czech Republic, for Group D, Serbia, Czech Republic, Poland, Finland, Israel, and the Netherlands.
Dear guests, dear viewers, this concludes the FIBA EuroBasket 2022 draw. Allow me to extend a very warm thanks to everyone who assisted in person here in Verity Music Hall and to all of you who followed the ceremony via FIBA's digital channels. And to all the fans out there, I know you cannot hardly wait for FIBA EuroBasket 2022. And as of today, we enter the final stretch. Europe's biggest stars will bring the talent. You make sure you bring the noise. Wherever you are around the world, stay safe. Thank you.
The other way from France. Rubio pulls up at the line. Good. He takes it all the way. Oh! How about that from Luka Doncic? And he nails it. What a three. AK-47 blocked it.
I love the fact that he wants to get into this game.
Over to Papaloukas.
Boyan Bogdanovic off to a flyer.